بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الرحمن.
How I met him and this ultimate remedy. If I say it was an accident, you may understand it easily, although I say there are no accidents. In this universe, now I can say nothing is happening accidentally. Because we call it accident when it is not in our plans, even in our wildest dreams, and we or no one else may not accept it or wish it to be happened. But it is always in the plans of divine. This is what I have learned. That day, one of my junior doctor, he called me to the ITU and he told me that this young lady is just landed in severe shock and severe deficiency of oxygen in her blood, hypoxia, and this young lady is having no IV line access, or her all the peripheral veins were not accessible. Many nurses and doctors tried, but it was failed. At the same time, she was extremely restless due to hypoxia and shock. No history was there. She was alone, brought in ER by the emergency department. And to save her life at that time, we have to pass a central venous line. So, two nurses, one doctor, they tried to overpower her, and I passed the central line in her neck. I was standing on her head side. That is way back in 99. That time we do not had any facility in our ICU for nitrous oxide or any other high-tech facilities. It was a good ICU of a third world country with basic facilities of ventilation and certain invasive procedures, monitoring, cardiac pacing, blah, blah, blah. So, anyways, I was good at it. I passed the central line, and at the same time, one of our junior nurse, she, in excitement, tried to grab that syringe with cannula because it was full of blood, and she had to send the blood samples for urgent processing. But at the same time, patient, the restless patient, she was not conscious and she not in her senses. She grabbed her from her hairs, and while an evasive action, uh, she just, I would say, uh, tried to save that syringe full of blood to the other side, and at the same time, he asked for the stitch, and this needle accidentally pricked my web of the right hand, maybe almost 1 centimeter. I took the emergency precautionary measures right at that time. We put her, gave her anesthesia or sedative through that central line, put her on the ventilation, artificial ventilation, ordered for her urgent CT chest or other labs, and I washed my hand thoroughly, sent my bloods, and next day she died, and I came to know that she was suffering from PCP pneumonia because she was suffering 3 deadly viruses, including HIV. She was an IV drug abuser and a sex worker, maybe. But she was suffering from hepatitis B and C alongside HIV. Within 6 months, I was positive with all the three viruses. In next 2 years, I lost almost 20 kg of weight, depression, low-grade fever, irritability. I was doing in those days my postgraduate training and some odd jobs in different hospitals. I was married, having two kids, and my wife was again pregnant. I did not disclose this incident at home, but stopped going home and made myself too much busy in my training in three different hospitals. I narrated this to my mother and wife that it is a very tough training. I cannot visit home frequently. So it was only 4 nights from 8 to 8 that I had to come to home. Otherwise, I was running from one hospital to the other. In those days, we have only emails, and I keep on posting to different friends all over the world, our colleagues, that one of my colleague had a prick and he or she is positive for this and this and this. What do you suggest? So although I know already their answers, but still I kept on posting them. And with every passing day, I was desperate and going into depression or despair. No solution was there, and I have to look into the eyes of death daily and at each passing second. I know I am heading towards death due to these three deadly viruses anytime. So, my own allopathic knowledge was now a curse for me. Being a doctor, even a small mild cough or any new symptom make me alert like anything. But no conclusion was there. No cure was available for me. At the same time, I tried homeopaths, Ayurveds, local remedies, herbal medicine, at the same time, spiritual medicine, or you name it, nothing worked. Almost 2 years passed, or maybe more than 2 years. That one day, one of my another junior doctor, he called me in ICU and he said, "Sir, this gentleman is suffering from hepatitis C, cirrhosis of liver, and he is throwing blood again. He had visited ICU previously 3-4 times, and he had band ligations, gastroscopy and band ligations, but now he is again here, and he is vomiting blood. Last night, his father brought 2 bags of blood, but we do not have any more blood with us, and his father is refusing for further transfusions." I just tried to convince that old man, but he was himself helpless. He told me that he is a retired railway officer, a railway guard, and he had a minimal pension. But that money he is raising kids of this only son who is suffering from this chronic liver disease for the last 5-6 years, and he has no more financial resources to carry on this process. So he cannot bring any further blood transfusions. I was trying to clear him that okay, we'll try some blood samples or drug samples. We'll try and request hospital admin about some discounts on this gentleman, but at the same time, uh, this blood transfusion he has to arrange. He has to bring some family members as donors, and then we can transfuse this blood to his young boy. He was 35 or 40. But that man was simply refusing when this young lady, our very junior doctor, a newcomer, hardly 2 months in the hospital, this house officer came inside, and I know that she has to ask for ICU bed, and one of patient in her floor was serious, so she must be coming here personally to request me to visit that person and at the same time to shift that patient into the ICU. She was silently observing us, and I was trying to convince that gentleman that you have to bring the blood. We will try our resources, but you have to cooperate. Otherwise, this person is in danger and he may die of shortage of blood or massive bleeding. When the father of that patient suddenly said, "Let him die." Okay, let him die. It was painful, shocking. I was taken aback or maybe numb and dumb for some moments. When this young lady suddenly intervened, she went to the patient, take a cup from his bedside, put some water in it, and he said to that man, "Just close your eyes and with extreme love, say 3 times in your heart, call your creator. Call your creator with extreme love." She was stressing on the word extreme love and passion. Then that man tried to tell him that, "Lady, I am throwing blood and doctors has already told me not to eat or drink anything. They may have to do the gastroscopy." She replied him immediately, "I am also a doctor. I am telling you, these are only 3 sips. It will cure you." I was surprised which kind of false hope she is offering him and why she is trying to interfere in ICU work. When she again insisted this gentleman, he gave this glass of water in his hand and said, "Close your eyes." She was ordering him. But there was love or empathy in it, too much concern in it. The person closed his eyes and she said, with extreme love, with extreme passion of love, without moving your tongue or lips, call your creator 3 times with his personal name, whatever name you call him, Allah, God, or Bhagwan. He smilingly said, "I call him Allah." He said, "Okay, say 3 times Allah, but say with love." She was stressing on love. I don't know what he said or not said. He kept his eyes closed, and after some time, he took 3 sips. He opened the eyes and starts looking into the cup. He smelled it, then again tasted it, and smilingly told this lady, "Its taste is different. It looks like holy water." I just laughed off that the man is going into encephalopathy or the liver coma is now about to start in this gentleman. I told his father that please try to bring the blood transfusion or some donor and ask that lady, please come to my office. In my office, I started scolding him. And why you are giving him false hope? And this family is not cooperating with us. And God forbid, if this gentleman died within 1 or 2 hours, they may blame us that we are not performing our own duties of intensive care. Rather, we were doing some kind of ritual or spiritual dilly-dallying. She was serious. And she said, "No, sir, let him listen this verse of Quran She was herself not a practicing Muslim. She was not having a scarf or a practicing Muslim lady's attire. She was a young modern lady with no scarf even in her neck, with open long hair, a young lady. She was daringly looking straight into my eyes, and with full conviction she was saying, let him listen this recitation of Quran, Surah Ar-Rahman, the chapter Ar-Rahman, the beneficent, the merciful. And she said it should be in the voice of late Egyptian Qari Abdul Basit Abdul Samad, without any translation. It should be pure Arabic. No need to understand it. All the patient has to do is to listen it with the ears of his heart. He just has to feel the radiation or the vibration of this recitation. I was amusingly looking at her. That is she crazy? What happened to this young lady doctor? And she is trying to advise me. She is offering a totally out of the box solution, which I was personally not ready to accept in my ICU. But she was insisting on it and repeatedly saying that if you can arrange some Walkman and a cassette, please let this gentleman listen it, maybe with the some hearing aid or with some hand free, but or he may play it nearby his bedside if other patients are not having any objection or not get disturbed, or you may use the hand free. I just thought for a second, and like a senior, just to teach her that she should not go into this direction, and she is just um, talking nonsense. I said, okay, let's experiment it. I had a very nearby home. My home was very next to the hospital. I called my younger brother, please drop my headphones and my Walkman. In those days, it was a small gadget, it was called Walkman with cassettes we play in it. And I requested him to please bring this cassette with the recitation of Qari Abdul Basit Abdul Samad, this chapter of Quran Ar-Rahman. After half an hour, he just left it. I gave it to that person. This lady narrated the matter to that man that you have to listen it 3 times a day with closed eyes. Just forget about everything. I said, I am expecting he may go into the coma in few hours. She said, okay, even if he is in coma, just play it nearby him 3 times a day for 7 consecutive days. I just kept quiet and told her, okay, you guide him, we will see the results. She told him that it hardly takes 20 minutes or 21 minutes. You have to listen it with closed eyes, without any negative thoughts in your heart. You should not have any revenge or hatred, jealousies, or any kind of negative attributes in your heart. Just surrender to your. She was insisting on surrender. She was saying, just be zero in front of your Allah, in front of your Creator, in front of your Lord, and just surrender yourself to Him and listen this message, the divine message, with the ears of your heart. Close your eyes, listen this 20 minutes of recitation. After finishing it, open your eyes, take half cup of water, and close your eyes again. And with extreme passion of love, say 3 times Allah, 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 or God, God, God in your heart, and keep your eyes closed and take 3 sips of water and then open your eyes. This will hardly take totally 20-25 minutes, and you have to do it 3 times a day for 7 consecutive days. After 7 days, keep on drinking water the same way, this 1 or 2 minutes meditation with water, but stop listening to the recitation. I just laughed off. Next day, I particularly started my round from ICU and go straight to that bed. The bed was empty. I thought he must have passed away. I asked the nurses. They told me no. By midnight, they left the hospital against medical advice. They were running short of their finances. I said, okay, they must have left my Walkman over here. She said, no, there is nothing like that. I just cursed myself for losing this Walkman just to convince this crazy lady, and tried to forget the memories of my Walkman. I think it was hardly 8th or 9th day, maybe, or 10th, while we were sitting in our office, and the father of that gentleman came inside my room asking about me. I told him I am the same man you are asking. He suddenly realized and said, oh, yes, doctor, my son is quite fine. And by the time his son also walked inside, I didn't notice much great change in his health, but that was good to see him standing. He put the Walkman on my table. He said, doctor, thank you very much. Where is that lady? I have to thank her. After 5 years, I am feeling good appetite. There is no more blood in my stools, no more blood throwing, no more low grade fever. I am feeling energetic. I know my cure process started now. I am cured now. I was just laughing and looking at him. I asked particularly about the color of his stool or feces or shit, and he said it's yellow. I asked him for his personal number. In those days, few people were having cell phones, but they were from a poor family. He said, no, the landline number I can give you for about a nearby shop, and they may call me or give me a message if you want to be connected with me. In the night, the lady came. I told her the story. She was not surprised. She was quiet, and with a slight smile, she said, I already told you. He will be cured. Did you guide him? He should continue the water the same way. All he has to do is just give 1 or 2 minutes to his Creator 3 times a day with extreme passion of love. He has to call him in his heart and take 3 sips of water. I said he do remember it, and I took his phone number. I will keep in touch with him. She said sure. I brought few Walkmen in my ICU and few cassettes. I started applying this method on my terminal patients, my post-anoxic brain damage patients, my post-prolonged CPR anoxic brain damage patients, or terminal cancer patients, or terminally sick patients in ICU, chronic patients. There was a common suicidal method in those days. It was a freely available pesticide tablet containing aluminum phosphide, which evaporates in your stomach and liberates phosgene gas, which immediately destroys your heart and blood vessels, and you die a slow death in next 24 hours. There was no known antidote in whole world. I think USA used it as a war gas or a weapon in the Vietnam War. Now this tablet, effervescent tablet, was available as a pesticide to keep into the grain houses where they store the grains. to kill the rodents or avoid the rodents. But as it was available easily, so many youngsters or depressed patients, it was very cheap. They usually buy it and they try to do the suicide. Initially, when they land in your ER, there is bad garlic like smell from their mouths. They usually tell you that I have eaten the wheat pill or rice pill or gandum ki goli in the local language. And they are walking and talking. But within next few hours, their vomiting increases, they go into the shock, their ECG gets started disturbing, some heart arrhythmias and metabolic acidosis or acidity in their blood increases rapidly, and slowly they went into the shock, and in the next 24 to 48 hours they die. No antidote was there, no cure was there. I started applying it in my ICU. Apart from doing CPRs, repeated CPRs on those patients, or continuous veno-venous hemodialysis, or artificial ventilatory, or pacemaking support, cardiac support, this was one additional remedy added in these patients. We started getting astonishing results. Although patients were still developing sometimes arrests, and we have to revive them in the ICU, many of them develop sepsis or shocks, but our recovery rate from aluminum phosphide poisoning was definitely different than before. Few patients started surviving. We were closely monitoring, considering it a placebo effect, or maybe the tablet was not ingested in full quantity, maybe some expired tablet is used, maybe the patient arrived earlier. By that time, that lady doctor, Dr. Memunai Sultan, she told me that she has a spiritual mentor who described this therapy to her, and his name is, she called him Babaji. In a dramatic fashion, I had to meet him. Although I was applying this method, easy method of playing some sound on the patient with his consent, without any side effects or without any additional cost, I was just doing it. But I never thought of applying it to myself for my own three deadly diseases. Because deep inside my heart, my knowledge already convinced me that there is no cure and I have to die. So I should not try anything now. So I never thought about it. You may say, I was already depressed, I have already surrendered in a way that nothing can be done now, so leave it. When one day this lady told me that my Babaji wants to meet you, I said, no, I don't want to meet him. Why should I meet him? I don't believe these people. I don't believe in this spiritual healing or maybe spiritual gurus. She was just laughing and she said, oh, he is a simple, ordinary man. He don't charge anything. Initially, he was working in the red light area of the city called Hira Mandi, where this sex trade or dancing girls are living. That was again agonizing, or rather not much pleasing for me. So I simply refused that I don't want to meet him. Why should I meet him? She said, he wants to meet you. I said, but why? I am already busy in 3 hospitals. Today she again told me the same. Third day she said, okay. She came and she gave me a telephone and she said, My Babaji wants to talk to you. I spoke to that man first time in my life. It was some old man on the other side with a very heavy, husky voice. He said, "Hello." I said, "Yes." He said, "Oh, doctor, I want to meet you. May I come to you or you will come to me?" I suddenly said, "Okay, I'm coming to you tonight at around after finishing my job." I closed the phone. I asked that lady why he wants to meet me. She said, "I don't know. Many people want to meet him, but he never allowed. He is a direct descendant of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. We call them Sayyid. So he is a big landlord, but he has already left everything 10 years back, and he was working in the red light area silently, and more than 300 girls already left this job. They are married and living with their husbands and running good families, and they are no more into the sex trade or dancing uh, business or whatever they were doing. I was even not surprised or amazed. I said, "Okay, but why he wants to meet me? And if he is doing this work in that area," she said he was applying Dhamal therapy and music therapy over there. These terms were strange for me. Being a person from science, a doctor, although I was suffering from these three deadly diseases, still I was not convinced, or you may say excited about this idea. I had a strong conviction that nothing can be done now. And these all things are just useless. Only my own very much allopathy is more advanced. And when this allopathy can't do anything, there is no use of asking for any other remedy. Anyways, I requested my younger brother. He picked me after my duty hours, and we reached this area in the old town and the old city of Lahore, the walled city of Lahore in Bhatti Gate. I met this gentleman. The moment I entered his room, he said, "Oh, Pagal doctor aaya hai. The mad doctor has come, or the insane doctor has come." That was not very much welcoming or a very good gesture. So I was surprised why he said like that. Otherwise, he was very much pleasant, very much welcoming, and a very nice personality, a very kind hearted old man lying on a bed, a simple person. He was already dealing some patient of heart who was advised for bypass surgery, but he was running short of finances. At the same time, he was very sick and very serious, and it was a high risk surgery. Doctor already told him, so he was already, at the same time, he and his wife were there, and they are afraid also of the surgery. When this man was offering the same method of listening Surah Rahman 3 times a day for 7 days and drinking 3 sips of water with 3 times Allah, Allah, Allah in your heart. When he said, "Okay, we all should do this therapy at least once over here together, let's do this dua or prayer together." He gave water to all of us in different cups and asked us to close our eyes. That man did felt some change. My brother also did felt a lot of change. There were tears in his eyes, and he was shaking, and he was impressed. But I was totally unmoved. or you can say stone cold. He was just smilingly looking at me, asking that heart patient what he felt, and he was saying, I am feeling energy, the same word that man said. He asked him, okay, go and walk few steps on the stairs and climb the stairs 2 3 times. I was surprised. Anyways, to cut the story short, he asked me, oh mad doctor, did you felt anything? I said no. He said, okay, you do it again. I did it again, even the third time. And he said, give me your telephone number. I will keep in touch with you. This is the remedy, oh gentlemen, you are asking from your Lord for the last 10 years. I had that break 2 years back. But yes, I was asking from my Lord from the day one of my medical practice. 10 years back, I passed my medical graduation and started my house job or on job training, you can say internship. When I started dealing with the patients independently at nights, I was the first one to attend them. There was deep inside a feeling that no one should suffer by the lack of my knowledge or skill, and I should be quick enough around all these patients who are post-operatively sick or suffering from pain or different complications on the first post-operative night. When I started this prayer from Allah or God, or Lord or Creator, that, oh Lord, if you have created the disease, you must have created the cure for all the diseases. It's useless. I know you do not do anything useless. So it's useless to keep hiding that cure from the world. Please let me know about the cure of cancer or all the ailments. I will distribute it freely to all the humans. It's useless to keep it hiding. People are suffering. The misery is there. The different diseases are there. Many diseases in allopathy are incurable. Till today, we do not know the cure of cancer or HIV or many other deadly diseases. Especially, it was very painful for me to see a young lady dying after giving birth to a baby. Maybe she's a primary gravida, or maybe mother of 2 or 3 kids, or any young man with many ambitions in his mind and suddenly dying of severe sepsis or any other ailment. ICU or intensive care remained throughout of my life my passion. So right from the start, after my house job, I kept on working in different ICUs, the medical ICU, the post-operative cardiac surgery ICU, the neurosurgery ICU, coronary care units. So while dealing these terribly sick patients, I always keep on doing this prayer from the Lord, even on the prayer rug or while on the bedside of the patient doing CPR. Deep inside my heart, I was always talking to him that when you have sent the cure, why you are not telling me? Let me reach there and let me distribute it free of cost. That was a great incentive from my side to the Lord. But he was silent. And I was unable to find that cure. When, after 8 years of my graduation, I had that sudden prick of that lady's infected blood of HIV and Hep B and Hep C. And those next 2 years were terrible, waiting for my death. always thinking of complications of AIDS or chronic liver disease or transformation into the liver cancer and blah, 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 blah. Whatever I have already read in my books. So many patients of the same diseases, I have already witnessed myself, their miserable lives and deaths. So for the last 2 years, maybe I was not that much regular now asking Allah for that magic cure. But that prayer was still with me. And that day when I met him on 2nd December of 2002, I had that prick in November, December of 1999. And on 2nd December 2002, I was sitting in front of that gentleman the night of 2nd December. It was holy month of Ramadan, the 27th of Ramadan. And this gentleman suddenly said to me, "Oh, gentleman, this is the cure." He gave me a black card. The method of this remedy was written over there. It was written in English and Urdu. One side it was in Urdu and one side it was in English. Do you have a card? So the Must Healers presents the ultimate remedy. All those suffering from any mental, physical, spiritual, social illnesses or black magic should apply this remedy free of cost, whichever religion, caste, creed they belong to. They can do it 3 times a day for 7 days. All they have to do is to listen this recitation of late Qari Abdul Basit Abdul Samad, the recitation of Surah Ar-Rahman without translation, 3 times a day for 7 days with closed eyes. And each time after listening, they have to take half cup of water. They have to close their eyes again and say 3 times Allah, Allah, Allah in their heart with extreme love, and then open their eyes. They have to say it 3 times and have to drink the 3 sips of water with the closed eyes. And after finishing their water, they will open their eyes. And they have to listen this remedy 7 days, 7 consecutive days. From 8th day, they have to stop. They may stop the listening and they continue this half cup of water drinking with closed eyes and saying 3 times Allah with extreme love in their heart indefinitely. And each one after getting cured should start telling to others and start helping others like a doctor. He or she should distribute this method of cure or ultimate remedy to others unconditionally without charging a single penny or accepting even a thank you. He or she should spread this message of unconditional love unconditionally to the other ailing mankind or humanity. The details are available at www.alrahman.com, or a remedy, this ultimate remedy. You can download this app as the ultimate remedy from App Store or Play Store, or from the alrahman.com. Free of cost, you can download it. Or you can find many patients, their videos with their own testimonies at Must Healers channel on Facebook or YouTube. This data is whole belong to my efforts with my patients. But on that very much day, I was not convinced. But little bit I was surprised that how this gentleman know this secret prayer, which is only between me and my Lord. How he knows that I have already passed 10 years after my graduation. And for the last 10 years of my medical graduation during my practice, I am seeking any such remedy for my sick patients whom I have nothing to offer. To all the terribly sick or terminally sick patients, I am asking my Lord that please give me that remedy which you have already sent. When he suddenly said to me, "Oh, gentleman, This is the cure you are seeking from your Lord for the last 10 years. Quran is cure, and cure is from your Allah, and Quran is from your Allah. I thought he is some kind of preacher, but no, he was just love. He was just unconditional love. I thought he will charge me some hidden costs. He never. Yes, he took my heart away, slowly and gradually. By his, at the age of 65, his untiring, continuous 24/7 effort of spreading this message of love to others, till he passed away from this world to his final destiny on 8th of February 2005. 5 days just before passing from this world, he took again this oath from me that promised me, you will keep on spreading this message of love to others unconditionally. Never ever accept even a thank you for it. Keep on spreading it. We all humans need it badly. Humanity needs it badly. Humanity needs humane and unconditional efforts from the humans. Promise me you will keep on spreading this message to others. So that's why I started telling this to others. Initially, as an experiment, we started meeting each other frequently. He was going to each and every group of community or group of people or different sects of the city and community and the society. 24/7, he was ready to spread this message by hook or by crook. Every cured patient he requests, start telling others. Day one you came, you were patient. Now you are a doctor. Now you are a messiah. Now you are a healer. Please start helping others unconditionally. We have seen thousands and thousands of patients getting cured from cancer. I myself checked my blood samples once he left this world. Right that day, when I spoke to him, I met him. The truth was, I felt a great change in my body. There was a great change or energy in my body. But I didn't realize it at that time. By the time I reached home, I realized I am having no more fever. But I just kept quiet. Later on, I started telling this to my patients. Patients started getting cured. There were many astonishing results in ICU. Many social sicknesses, many social problems around my friends, around my family, they get addressed. Daily, I was telling it to someone new with some new problem, and I was gathering a strange kind of experience. I walked around the city and to the other cities in the next 2.5 years. I never went for my tests. I was energetic, I was fine, I was happy and healthy. I started living normal life. Once he passed away from this world on 8th of February 2005, I was selected for Saudi, and After the interview, they took my blood samples and called me after 2 days. And that day, I realized my all the three viruses were negative. My normal reports were in my hand, but he has already left this world. He never took away anything from me but love. All he gave to me was love. That's why they say love begets love. I don't know, he took away my heart or I am in his heart. He just loved me. He never preached anything to me. He just practiced love in front of my eyes, untiringly, unconditionally. He never rejected anyone, whether it's a dancing girl, whether it's a prostitute, or it's a pious, gentle man, or a big gun from the community, a big shot, corrupt politician, or some army officer. He was always the same to everyone, smilingly meeting all of them, offering the same remedy. Still, he was practicing Dhamal therapy or music therapy on certain cases. And in the cases of kids, he always recommend, no, 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 no. Only adults should listen this remedy. All the kids who are not adults yet, or maybe they are below 12 years of age, they are not sick. They are innocent. Their parents or their elders are sick. Either it is coming in their genes or their parents, they should mend their ways. They should become love. They should listen this therapy. Both the parents should listen this therapy the same way 3 times a day for 7 days, and their kids will be cured. I was surprised. Then I and many of my colleagues ourselves witnessed congenital heart diseases, congenital sicknesses, mitochondrial diseases, leukodystrophies improving, autism drastically improving. These were all the sicknesses which we all doctors think till today that they are incurable, or at least we don't have any remedy in allopathy for these diseases. There were great changes in the kids once the parents are changed, once they become love to each other, once they forgive their all the near and dear ones, once they themselves become love and surrender to their mighty creator. Once they become love, they start loving each other. The kids get benefit immediately. I will offer you many videos. We'll try to dub them in English or with subtitles. You can listen to the wording of your the very same patients or their parents. At the same time, some persons who were not suffering from physical sicknesses, although doctors are trying to diagnose some physical sickness, but usually they were suffering from spiritual sicknesses, and they are ending into antidepressants or antipsychotics. To them, sometimes he applies this music therapy or Sufi music or Dhamal therapy even, with great results, according to whom this is all radiation and radiation of love. Hatred, envy, jealousy, bias, revenge, these all negative attributes are making our souls weaker And these weaker souls result into the weaker bodies, and bodies get sick. To cure your bodies, you have to re-energize your soul. And the only energy source, the best source of energy for your souls is to connect it back to its creator. One should be put back into company default settings, and he or she should surrender in front of his creator with whole data inside, with all the sins, like a young kid surrender himself to his mom with all the wet pants or the panties. The mom will clean him immediately. Similarly, if you surrender, even how much sinful you are, whatever the wrongdoings you did in the past, just surrender to your Lord. Submit to Him. Clean your heart by forgiving all others for the sake of your Lord, and seek forgiveness by offering your own good deeds to your Lord, that please give my good deeds to all those whom I have knowingly or unknowingly hurt ever, and compensate them with my good deeds. But put some love in their hearts for me. The Creator can do it once you fulfill the compensation. So, by forgiving others and seeking forgiveness, just surrender yourself, submit yourself to your Lord, your Creator, the beneficent and the merciful. He will immediately cure you. You will see the results within no time. All you have to do is just try it yourself. You may download it free from alrahman.com or the Play Store. The ultimate remedy, in the voice of the recitation without translation, the Arabic recitation in the voice of late Qari Abdul Basit Abdul Samad of Surah Ar-Rahman. This chapter from Quran, you have to just listen it as a remedy. Whatever your religion is, it is not kind of preaching. You don't have to change your religion. And each time after just listening or feeling these waves of love, this is all about love, the unconditional love of your Creator. After finishing, take half cup of water, close your eyes and say 3 times Allah, 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 or God, 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 with extreme love in your heart. Even if you are an atheist, say 3 times your own name. At least you believe in your own self. We all should love our own selves at least. We should appreciate and recognize our own selves and love our own selves. We harm our own selves usually. We ourselves are the biggest enemies of our own selves. We do not recognize ourselves. So be love and spread love. Hoping to see you in the next video with certain other experiments and some data about autism, ADHD kids and their parents with their own stories. Thank you very much.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الرحمن